What is going on, everyone? Welcome back on Block Gems. Today we're going to talk about the Central Games ICE poker and specifically about the NFT collection that is associated with this particular project. But before we jump into the content, guys, please remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and also join our Discord community that you can find a link to in the description down below. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this project is because, as you guys know, if you've been following this channel for a while, as you guys know, I have been researching and investing time into studying the wearables NFT space. We have been seeing so many brands come into the space. For instance, Nike acquiring the Artifact project, Adidas partnering with the Apes, and so many other cool initiatives in this space. And so I wanted to look for interesting plays in this particular niche. And one of the things that I've discussed on this channel already is that there is not so much of a bullish narrative when it comes to wearables traded on the Ethereum main network. And I can show you a chart real quick. If you can see, these spikes are diminishing in size when it comes to transaction counts. So basically the amount of transactions that are occurring on the mainnet, on the Ethereum mainnet, when it comes to Decentraland wearables. So people are not transacting or are transacting less and less. Why? Simply because it costs too much. Simply because if you own an item that it costs $200 and just to move it around, you need to spend $50, $60, $70, $100, you're not going to make that transactions. You're just not going to sell it, you're not going to list it even, because it is anti-economical to transact at those transaction costs, right? And this is what is happening on the mainnet. But what is happening on the layer 2 is completely different. Now, the Polygon network, when it comes to NFTs, is still not that big of a deal yet. But when it comes to the wearables narrative, we can see that, for instance, for the Decentraland wearables, when it comes to the Polygon network, we see that on a good day, we are looking at, say, 80 sales, okay? On a good day on mainnet, you look at 14, 15 sales. So the amount of distance between the two networks is staggering. And there are so many people on the Ethereum network that have NFTs, and there are very little people on the Polygon network that own NFTs. So just to put things in perspective, right? Now, looking at more data, we just saw that for the amount of transactions when it comes to the Decentraland wearables on Polygon, we can see on a good day 80, 60 transactions, even 100 transactions. But when we look at these other collections, which is basically a subset, at the end of the day, it's a subset of wearables that are usable into the Decentraland universe, into the Decentraland metaverse, we see that on a good day, we move 60 items, 40 items. So look at how big the proportion is between this collection, which is just a subset of the larger collection of Decentraland wearables, okay? So this is one reason for me to be bullish, because if more and more money is coming in to the layer 2s and more money will be attracted to NFTs built on layer 2, then these type of items, this type of wearables will be considered some sort of OG project into the space. And why is that? Now, I will not go into the deeper dynamics of how these items work, but in a nutshell and at a high level, these wearables are wearables that are also tools that provide real utility to the people that use them. This is specifically because once you're wearing one of these assets, you can show up at a green table, you can show up at the casino within the Decentraland metaverse and play, gamble at the green table having special rewards and a special treatment, and you can basically make more money if you're wearing one of these assets. And there is also a very interesting dynamic between the owner of these assets and the person that wears it. So the player and the owner can be different people, and they can both make money out of these assets. So this is particularly interesting. This is probably why we are seeing so many transactions and so much volume. And guys, let's remember that it's super important to see many transactions and a lot of volume, because it just means that there is so much attention coming to a particular collection, and as more money comes in, then we have a very interesting effect as more and more attention will go to the original project, to the OG project, to the most seminal project into the space. We saw what happened to the CryptoPunks, we saw what happened to the apes. So this is the main idea. Of course, none of this is investment advice. I'm just sharing with you what I think. Do your own research. I want to add a couple of notes related to the growth of Polygon in and of itself. If we go and look at the chart of how many more unique addresses are coming to this network, how many more people want to participate to the network on Polygon, the growth is basically staggering, guys, because we are looking at a growth between 100, we crossed the threshold of 100 million mid-October, and now we are at 130 million basically. And this occurred in the span of 2.5 months. If we go and look on Ethereum, a growth of say 30 million occurred in the span of 7 months. Okay, so this is the amount of distance in terms of growth that there is between these two layers. Okay, so the layer 2 is growing very, very fast when it comes to the Polygon network, however, because if we make another comparison, the Polygon network compared with the Arbitrum network, which is also another layer 2, we see that Arbitrum is not growing as fast, not even close. Actually, the very shape of the curve is completely different. Here, growth is reducing over time. At least this is what the data so far is telling us, right? And of course, things can change. Maybe they will innovate on this network, and something will change so dramatically that we will see more growth in the future for Arbitrum. But at the current state, the data is suggesting that if you are looking for NFT plays on the layer 2, Polygon is the place to go to and look for interesting plays. And I wanted to add another couple of interesting data points. For instance, if you go on Twitter and you search for wearables NFT, the vast majority of the posts that you find are posts that entails some sort of Decentraland wearable. So if you like the narrative around wearables, and if you think that people in the future will be happy to wear a particular costume in the metaverse, the same way as today people are happy to wear a bag from Hermes, for instance, or a bag from Gucci, or a bag from a very important brand. The same, if you think that the same narrative will repeat in the metaverse, then in my opinion, Decentraland is the place to go and look for interesting plays. However, again, sharing with you what I think. Now, an interesting opportunity that could be there is the mint. And next week, there will be a mint for this specific type of tokens. For instance, we will see the fourth drop, if I'm not mistaken, probably the fifth, sorry. And we will see costumes of this kind. And these are the instructions for the mint. So I will put the link to this post in the description down below, so that you can put in your wallet the tokens that you need in order for you to mint some of these tokens, right? So guys, I hope that you found this video informative and useful to do your own research. If that is the case, please remember to join this community, join our Discord community. In the description down below, there is a link to our community, and also subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Thank you very much for your time, and see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.